Hello, good morning everybody. So glandular epithelium, a gland is an organ that consists of the specialized secretory cells. The material secreted by the gland is liquid like enzyme, hormone, mucus or the fat. Is epithelium in lining, they may be unicellular and multicellular. So glandular epithelium is divided into these two parts, exocrine gland and endocrine gland. Exocrine gland discharge the secretion on the surface of the epithelium from where gland are arise. So already I told you exocrine gland in previous class. Endocrine gland, today I will discuss the endocrine gland. This gland are the ductless gland pour secretion directly into the blood. So endocrine gland are the ductless gland whose secretion are the carried to the specific destination through the vascular system. The secretion is endocrine cells are called the hormones. These hormones are secreted by this gland or the ductless gland. So endocrine gland it secretes the hormone. They interact with the specific hormone receptor to alter biological activity of the target cells. So along with this autonomic nervous system, the endocrine gland can coordinate and control the metabolic activity and the internal environment of the body. So feedback mechanism, positive or the negative, regulate by this hormonal function. So endocrine tissue are highly vascular. The secretory pores of endocrine cells is through the walls of a capacity walls of the capillary. So endocrine gland include the pituitary gland, suprarenal, thyroid and parathyroid gland. So we will discuss about this glandular tissue or the endocrine gland here. So endocrine gland including this first hypophysis or the pituitary gland, second pineal gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid and adrenal gland. So these are the endocrine glands. So ductless gland, it secrete the hormones into the bloodstream or in sinusoid. They deliver the hormones to all the cells of the body. Endocrine tissue are the isolate of Langerhans in pancreas, interstitial cells of the lining in testes, ovarian follicle and the corpus luteum in ovary, and chorion in placenta. These all are the endocrine tissue. So endocrine cells in the GIT also you can see in the gastrointestinal system. So it secrete the hormone. So their name is given this endocrine gland. So what is the hormones? Hormone are a chemical messenger that are produced by the endocrine gland and then delivered by the bloodstream to the target cells or the organ. A hormone acts on cells that bear the specific receptor for it. Some hormones act as only on one organ or on one type of the cells, while other hormones may have the widespread effect. On the basis of the chemical structures, hormone belongs to four main types: amino acid derivative, small peptide, protein and steroid. So this one are this hormone. So main function it secreted by the endocrine gland. So endocrine cells also you can see some endocrine tissue. Example pancreas there is present isolate of Langerhans like this. This name is given this endocrine cells. So this one are the distributed part of this endocrine cells. Now first, hypophysis pituitary gland. So master gland endocrine gland. So the hypophysis gland name is given this master endocrine gland is located at the base of the brain hypothalamus. It has two parts. First is adenohypophysis and second is the neurohypophysis. First is developed from the epithelium covering the roof of this mouth oral ectoderm that case pause and second develop as a downgrowth of the brain or the diencephalon. So first part जो है adenohypophysis derived from this Rutgers spouse. Second जो part है neurohypophysis derived from this diencephalon or the downgrowth of the brain. So this one are the hypophysis cerebri. Here you can see this diagram. This one are the pituitary gland. It present within this fossa. This fossa name is given this hypophysis cerebri. Fossa for the hypophysis cerebri. So hypophysis cerebri also called the pituitary gland and is approximately size of a pea. It is suspended from the floor of the third ventricle by the narrow funnel-shaped stalk called the infundibulum, and it lies in the depression on the upper surface of the sphenoid bone called the sella turcica. So this one at the stalk name is given the infundibulum. This fossa name is given the sella turcica. It is the part of this sphenoid bone. So it produces several hormones, some of which profound influence the activity of this other endocrine tissue, and some refer. So its name is given this master endocrine gland. So its own activity is influenced by the hypothalamus and by the pineal gland. So these one are the some main function of this hypophysis cerebri. So adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis is derived from distal part. Adenohypophysis also name is given this anterior. Here you can see this hypophysis. This one are this infundibular stalk, and behind there is optic chiasma. This one are the optic nerve. This one are internal carotid artery, and this fossa name is given this hypophyseal fossa. It is the part of this sphenoid bone. This shape is just like a turcica, so name is given the sella turcica. Now division. So hypophysis or the pituitary gland is divided into these two parts. This part are these parts distalis. This part are the parts narosa. In between there is a parts intermediate. And this one are the parts tuberalis and infundibulum stalk. This one are the median amines. So adenohypophysis or the anterior lobe. Here there is a parts anterior for the parts distalis and the parts intermedialis. So parts distalis and part intermedialis is including in anterior lobe, both made up of the cells having the direct secretory functions. They are collectively referred to the adenohypophysis. An extension of the parts anterior surround the central nervous core of this infundibulum. Because of its tubular shape, this extension called the pars tuberalis. So this pars tuberalis, this pink color, it is including in this anterior pituitary gland. And parts posterior lobe or the pars nervosa, it including in this neurohypophysis or the posterior lobe of this pituitary gland. The pars posterior contain the numerous nerve fibers. It is directly continuous with the central core of this infundibulum stalk, which is made up of this nervous tissue. The pars posterior and the infundibulum stalk are the together referred to as the neurohypophysis. So pars narosa and the infundibular stalk, both name is given this neurohypophysis. The area in the floor of this third ventricle or the tuber cinerum immediately adjoining to the attachment to it of the infundibulum is called the median eminence. Some authorities include the median eminence is neurohypophysis. So this one are the divide into this adenohypophysis and the neurohypophysis. Adenohypophysis are the pars distalis and the pars intermedialis and the pars tuberalis. And neurohypophysis including in these parts narosa and infundibulum stalk in the median eminence. So this part are the subdivision of this pituitary gland, anterior lobe and posterior lobe. Now hypophysis, adenohypophysis, anterior lobe, it is mainly there is a glandular epithelium, pars distalis, tuberalis and intermedialis. Neurohypophysis, posterior lobe or nervous tissue. Here there is a pars nervosa, infundibular stalk and median eminence. So this one are the subdivision of this adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. Now adenohypophysis. Here you can see this the photomicrograph of the horizontal section. Here there is a pars distalis, this one at the cleft, pars intermedialis, this one at the pars narosa. Now pars distalis and the intermedialis including in adenohypophysis. So pars anterior, pars distalis and anterior lobe is covered by this fibrous capsule and they consist of a core of the cells separated by the fenestrated sinusoid. The parenchyma cells of the pars anterior contain the chromophil cells with the affinity to dyes, and the chromophore cells have no affinity to dyes. The chromophil cells that have the bright staining granules and in their cytoplasm, and the chromophore cells in which granules is not prominent. So here there is a two type of this present in section acidophilic. This one are the pars distalis section, basophilic, acidophilic cells, chromophobe and the chromophil. So chromophil cells have the brightly staining granules and in their cytoplasm, and chromophobe cells, which are the granules is not prominent. Chromophil cells have the affinity for the histological dyes and are the further classified in acidophilic, where their granules stain acidic dye, like the eosine or orange, and the basophilic when the granules stain with basic dye, like the hematoxylin basophilic granules and also periodic acid stain. pass stain positive. The acidophilic cells are the often called the alpha cells and basophilic cells called the beta cells. So here there is a two type acidophilic and basophilic cells, alpha cells and beta cells. So electron microscope examination showed both acidophilic and basophilic cells contain the abundant dense cord vesicles in cytoplasm. The acidophilic cells or the alpha cells are most abundant cells in parts anterior. Acidophilic can be divided into the subtype on the basis of the size and the shape of the granules in them. There are the acidophilic cells. Somatophores produce the somatotrophin hormones, somatotrophin, growth hormones. Then this hormone control the body growth, especially before the puberty. And the mammillotrophin intratrophin produce the mammotrophic hormone, also called the mammotrophin, prolactin, lactogenic hormone, LPH, which stimulate the growth and activity of this female mammalian gland during the pregnancy and lactation. Second one are the basophilic cells. So basophilic cells stain blue with the basic dye and is usually located in pituitary of the pars distalis type of the basophilic cells. So corticotrophin produce the corticotrophin hormones and adenocorticotrophin or ACTH. This hormone stimulates the secretion of the some hormone of the adrenal cortex. The staining character of these cells are the intermediate between the acidophilic and basophilic. Other other corticotrophin hormone that have been identified are the beta isotrophin. So this one are this thyrotrophins hormone TSH, which stimulate the activity of the thyroid gland. And gonadotrophin or the distal base of produce the two type of this hormone, each type having the different action, male and female. In female, first of this hormone stimulate the growth of this ovarian follicle and called the follicle stimulating hormone. And second in male, the same hormone stimulate the spermatogenesis. So this one are the follicle stimulating hormone and it stimulate the spermatogenesis. So name is given this gonadotrophin. In female, the second hormone stimulate the maturation of this corpus luteum and secretion of this progesterone by it. It is called the luteinizing hormone LH. In male, the same hormone stimulates the produce of the androgen by the interstitial cells of the testes and is called the interstitial cell stimulating hormone ICSH. So this one are the cells present in anterior pars distalis. Distalis, it consists of these chromophobe cells. These one are the lighter zone are the chromophobe, then basophilic cells and acidophilic cells, and here there is a sinusoid are present. Now, what is the chromophobe cells and the acidophilic and basophilic cells? These cells do not stain directly as they contain very few granules in their cytoplasm. So chromophobe cells, it is not stained directly because there is a less amount of these granules or the few granules in the cytoplasm. Immunocytochemistry shows that they represent the cells similar to the various type of this chromophile cells. They are probably degranulated chromophiles. Somatotrophin consists of the about 50%, mammotrophin about 25%, and corticotrophin 15 to 20%, and gonadotrophin about the 10% of the cells population of the pars anterior. So this cell's name is given this chromophile. And the somatotrophers are located mainly in this lateral part of this anterior lobes. Thyrotrophers are the concentrated in the anterior medial part of the corticotrophers in the protein median. Pars gonadotrophers and the mammotrophers are the scattered throughout the anterior horn. So these one are the chromophobe cells. So chromophobes, this one are the identification point of this hypophysis pars anterior and pars posterior. Because pars anterior there is present the agranular cells, chromophobe, basophilic cells and acidophilic cells. These are the pars anterior. Now pars nerosa. So Here you can see this pituitary and nerve fibers pars nervosa. You can identify there is presence of this nucleus of this pituitary. Then there is a blood vessels and there is a nerve fibers. So identification point of this hypophysis cerebri consists of the three main parts. Pars anterior is cellular, pars intermediate is variable in structures, and pars posterior consist of this fiber and lightly stale. So these are the pars anterior and pars nervosa. So here you can see this nucleus of this pituitary. These are the nerve cells, and here there is a fibers. Name is given this nerve fibers. Now two hypophysis nuclei. One is the supranuclear and another it is the paraventricular nucleus. So pars hypophysis is divided into these pars nervosa and the adenohypophysis. So here there is a posterior part or the pars nervosa. You see this pars nervosa, here there is present this posterior pituitary. So pars nervosa or the posterior part of this neurohypophysis, it posterior consists of these numerous unmyelinated nerve fibers which are the axon of the secretory nucleus located in the supraoptic and the paraventricular nuclei. So these are the nucleus, supraoptic nucleus and paraventricular nucleus. The posterior pituitary gland or the pars nervosa consists of the numerous unmyelinated nerve fibers which are the axon of secretory numerous located in supraoptic and the paraventricular nuclei of the hypothalamus. Situated between this axon, there are the supporting cells of the special type of this pituitary. So this cell's name is given this pituitary. These cells have a long dendritic process, many of which lies parallel to the nerve fibers. So these are the pituitary. Posterior pituitary gland or the pituitary is present within this pars nervosa. So it has a pars nervosa parallel to the nerve fibers. The pars posterior of the hypophysis is associated with this release of the vasopressin and oxytocin. The axon descending into the pars posterior from the hypothalamus and its terminals closely related to capillary. The neurosecretion or the hormone secreted by the supraoptic and the paraventricular nuclei travels through these neurons and store along the axon as well as the dilated nerve terminals. So this dilation portion name is given this Heron's body. So what is the Heron's body? It is nothing but here there is a neurosecretion or the hormone secreted by the supraoptic or the paraventricular nuclei travel through these neurons and store along the axon as well as dilated nerve terminals. So this collection of the secretory granules at the nerve terminals called the Heron's body. So यहाँ से जो हार्मोन सिक्रेट हो रहा था दो न्यूक्लियस में से सुप्राऑप्टिक न्यूक्लियस एंड पैरावेंट्रिकुलर न्यूक्लियस में वो नर्व्स फाइबर से ट्रैवल्स होके यहाँ पे एक्सोन टर्मिनल पार्ट है वहाँ पे वो कलेक्शन होता है जो कलेक्शन है वहाँ पे डायलेक्टेड पार्ट है so collection of the secretory granules at the nerve terminals is called the Heron's body. Hormone release as pars nervosa and vasopressin from the supraoptic and oxytocin from the paraventricular nuclei. Here they are released into the capillary of the region and enter the general circulation. So vasopressin also called the antidiuretic hormone ADH. This hormone controls the reabsorption of the water by the kidney tubules. And oxytocin, it controls the contraction of the smooth muscles of the uterus and also of the mammillary body. So here you can see this hormones, it's secreted by the posterior pituitary gland or the pars nervosa are two vasopressin and oxytocin. Vasopressin का main function क्या है? उसका दूसरा नाम एडिनो एंटीडायरेटिक हार्मोन है ADH. Vasopressin or the antidiuretic hormone. So it जो हार्मोन है it control the reabsorption of this water by the kidney tubules and जो oxytocin hormone है it control the contraction of the smooth muscles of the uterus and also the mammillary body. So this one are the hypophysis cerebri or the posterior hypophysis cerebri. So hypothalamus of the capillary and the portal vein. So primary capillary flexus, median eminence here, their infundibulum stalk, this one at the portal vein. Here there is a secondary capillary flexus, this one at the pars distalis, pars nervosa, and here there is a hypophysis cerebri or capillary and the portal vein system are located within the pituitary gland. Now, microscopic structures of these parts nervosa already told. Here there is a, you see this nucleus are the pituitary. It is the nerve cells and unmyelinated axon. So axon and the nerve cells are present in pars nervosa. Now, paraventricular nucleus and the supraoptic nucleus, it secrete these hormones vasopressin and the oxytocin. And here there is a collection of this. There is a hinge body and a terminal part located at the pars nervosa. So this part are the pituitary stalk. This one are the pars tuberalis, posterior pituitary side, pars intermedialis, and vestigia of the Rutgers pars. And here there is an anterior pituitary portal system and optic chiasma. These are the location of this hypophysis cerebri. Now, during this histological appearance, paranomic review, how you can identify the section of this pituitary gland. You can identify first anterior pituitary gland. Here there is a present the chromophobe cells and capsule cells group with the predominant acidophilic cells and basophilic cells group with predominance of the basophilic cells. And the dark and light pink stain is located multiple cells at the basophilic cells and acidophilic cells, and agranular cells, stainless cells are the chromophobe cells. So pars distalis, this part, our name is given this pars distalis, and also there is present the sinusoid, capillary and the venules, and it covers the capsule. Pars intermedialis, here with colloid vesicle. Pars intermedialis, there is present the thyroid follicle-like structures. Name is given this colloid vesicle. And pars nervosa, so infundibular process, here there is a present the connective tissue septum, blood vessels and capillary, and neurocyte and pinocyte or the nerve cells and the nerve fibers are located within this pars nervosa. This pars tuberalis, it also the part of this anterior pituitary gland, and the infundibulum stalk, it is the part of this posterior pituitary gland. So this one has the paranomic view of this hypophysis cerebri or in sagittal section. Now in section, you see this section view hypophysis. This stain at the medium magnification. It is not the low magnification. Pars intermedialis is located. You can see easily there is a vesicle filled with colloid material. So follicle parts of the intermediate portion and pars nervosa. Here there is a present the nerve fibers and the pituitary pars nervosa and nucleus of the pituitary. And parts anteriorly there is present this endothelial cells, granular cells group and the column, acidophilic or the alpha cells, both are the chromophil cells, acidophilic cells and basophilic cells. This basophilic cells also, these are the chromophil cells, and chromophobe cells are the agranular cells. It is not stained by the HLA stain. So there is a chromophil and a chromophobe cells are present. Chromophil are two types, alpha cells and beta cells. And granular cells are the group of this column. So this part are the parts anterior or distal is anterior pituitary gland. These parts are the parts intermedial zone, and this one the posterior pituitary part of the posterior pituitary gland is the pars nervosa. So this one the in medium magnification you can see these two type of these cells. Sometimes you can see in between this cleft in parts anterior pituitary gland and posterior pituitary gland. This cleft is present within this anterior and posterior pituitary gland. Now adenohypophysis. So pars distalis, two type of these cells, chromophil, it contains the granules so dark stain and the chromophobe no granules so stain poorly. Two type of these chromophils, acidophilics or the alpha cells, pink stain and secretion of the growth hormone or the prolactin. Basophilic or the beta cells stain blue, secretion of the luteinizing hormone, adenocorticotrophin, thyroid stimulating hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. This one are the anterior pituitary gland or the adenohypophysis. Name is given this pars distalis. Two type of the cells, acidophilic, basophilics and chromophils. Chromophils are the, it contains the granules of dark stain, and the chromophobe phobe has a no granules, so it is stained poorly. So pars intermedialis or the tuberalis contain the basophilic colloid cysts are present They produce melanostimulating hormone, adenocorticotropic hormone, and lipotropic hormone. Pars tubralis, highly vascular structures. It consists of the core and cluster of these chromophobic cells. No specific hormone is known that is secreted by the pars tubralis in human. Neurohypophysis, it secretes these two hormones, vasopressin and oxytocin. Vasopressin, also name is given this antidiuretic hormone, and it controls the reabsorption of the water by the kidney tubules. In oxytocin, it contain the smooth muscles of the uterus and also of the mammary gland. So this one are the pars nervosa. It contains the hair-inch body. It is nothing but there is collection of the secretory granules at the nerve terminals. It's called the hair-inch body. Pars nervosa or the neurosecretion hormone secreted by the supraoptic and paraventricular nuclei. They travels through these neurons and store along the axon as well as the dilated nerve terminals. So these are the pars nervosa or the neurohypophysis. These two nucleus, paraventricular and the supraoptical nucleus, it secrete the hormone. And there is two type of this hormone, vasopressin and oxytocin, and it collection at the terminal part of this axon. And the name is given this hair-inch body. So this one are the neurohypophysis. So pars nervosa, the neurosecretory cells produce the two hormone oxytocin and vasopressin. The hormone are transported through the exoplasm. A terminal part is called the hair-inch body. Now position of this thyroid. Now second endocrine gland are the thyroid gland. So you see the general features or the position of this thyroid gland. Here you can see this location of this thyroid gland and the neck region. So right thyroid gland and the left thyroid gland. So first general features of this thyroid gland, it is bilobed gland. It has a two lobe. Each lobe is situated on either side of the trachea, below the larynx and in lower neck. So this one are the trachea. In front of this trachea, these two lobe, right thyroid gland and left thyroid gland, is connected by each other to isthmus. So right and the left trachea, two lobe are connected to each other by the isthmus in front of the trachea. So which are the peculiarity? Store the hormone in from colloid, superficially located, depend on the environment for the secretion. So this secretion mainly iodine. So microscopic features of this thyroid gland. Here you can discuss. This one are the normal structures of this thyroid and parathyroid gland. So parathyroid gland located posterior to the thyroid gland. So these are the parathyroid gland, four in number. So this one are the trachea and this one are the voice box or the larynx. So thyroid gland posteriorly there is a location of this parathyroid gland. So both are the back view you can easily see the parathyroid gland. So both thyroid and parathyroid are the endocrine. Now microscopic structures. So structures of this thyroid gland. Here you can see this thyroid gland, follicle, cell secreted thyroid hormone, and then cells scatter colloid in within this glycoprotein, capsule connection of this tissue and capillary. So this one are the paranomic view or the diagrammatic part of this microscopic features of this thyroid gland. So thyroid gland is covered by dense, irregular connective tissue capsule derived from the deep cervical fascia, and parathyroid gland are embedded within the capsule on the posterior aspect of the thyroid gland. Septa extending into the gland from the capsule divide into the lobules. On microscopic examination, each lobule is seen on made up of this aggregation of this follicle. Here you can see this diagram, this name is given the thyroid follicle. So this thyroid follicle, it is the character features of this thyroid gland. Each follicle is lined by these follicular cells. They rest on the basement membranes. The cell's name is given these follicular cells. This one are these tall columnar cells are the follicular cells secrete the hormone. So these cells secrete hormone and it collected by this colloid material. So follicular cells rest on the basement membrane and follicles is filled with this homogeneous material called the colloid. This homogeneous material filled by the thyroid gland name is given this colloid. So this part are the colloid, pinkish structure, but in HNE you can see in pink in color. So colloid which appear pink in HNE stain. Here you can not see in the pink because it is the diagrammatic diagram. The space between this follicle are filled by the stroma made up of this delicate connective tissue, which numerous capillary and the lymphatic, which contain the numerous capillary and lymphatic. The capillary lie in close contact with this wall of this follicle. Apart from the follicular cells, the thyroid gland contains the C cells or the parafollicular cells. So in between this follicle, here this space name is given the parafollicular. In space name is given this. Here there is a cells. Some cells are located within this interfollicular space. The cells name is given the C cells or the parafollicular cells, which inverted between these follicular cells and the basement membrane, and also between the follicle in the connective tissue stroma. So these one are the follicular cells and the C or the parafollicular cells. So structures unit of the follicle or the acinus. Follicle consists of the layer of the simple epithelium enclosing cavity called the follicular cavity. The cavity is usually filled with gel-like viscous iodine-rich material called the colloid. The interfollicular space are filled by the reticular connective tissue, adipose tissue, and the blood vessels. Now schematic diagram, you can see this thyroid follicle, this one are the thyroid follicle, this one are the follicular cells, and this pinky structure are the colloid material. And this epithelium is cuboidal epithelium, or the follicular cells, it is cuboidal epithelium because it is rest on the basement membrane. Parafollicular cells located within this two follicle, these are the interfollicular space, also name is given the C cells or the parafollicular cells. Now follicular cells or the cuboidal epithelium and your C cell parafollicular cells. The follicular cells vary in shape from the squamous, cuboidal to columnar depending on the level of their activity. Highly active follicle is lined by these columnar cells, with scanty colloid. Moderate active follicle is lined by the cuboidal cells with moderate colloid, and the inactive follicle is lined by the squamous cells with abundant colloid. So different follicle may show the different level of the activity. Follicular cells have a round to ovoid nuclei with two nuclei and the basophilic cytoplasm. But in electron microscope, the follicular cells shows a presence of the apical microvilli, abundant granular endoplasmic reticulum, and the prominent supranuclear Golgi complex. Lysosome, microtubules, and the microfilaments are also present. The apical part of the cells contain the many secretory vasculum. Activity of the follicular cells is influenced by the thyroid stimulating hormone. इसको शॉर्ट में हम बोलेंगे TSH or the thyrotrophin. It produced by the hypophytic territory. The follicular cells secrete the triiodothyronine T3 with 3 atoms of the iodine and the triiodothyronine T4 or the thyroxine with 4 atoms of the iodine. In each molecule, this hormone influences the rate of the metabolism. Now second cells are the parafollicular cells or the C cells. So they also called the clear cells or the light cells. So C cells share features of the APUD cells system and derive from these neural crest cells. The cells are the polyhedral with oval eccentrical nuclei. Typically they lie between these follicular cells and their basement membrane. Many however lies between the adjoining follicular cells, but they do not reach the lumen and may also lie in the connective tissue between the follicular in-group. But in electron microscope, these cells show well-developed granules, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, numerous mitochondria, membrane-bound secretory granules. C cells secrete the hormone name is given the calcitonin. This hormone has an action opposite to that of the parathyroid hormone on the calcium metabolism. So these are the schematic diagram of this two type of the cells in intralobular connective tissue, cuboidal epithelium, parafollicular cells. You see this location within this follicle. These cells are the parafollicular cells. These one are the colloid secreted by the follicular cells. Sinusoid or the capillary within this interfollicular space, and this one are the follicle. So these are the microscopic view of this thyroid gland. So paranomic photomicrograph, when you can see under the microscope this type of this appearance you can see. colloid filled material with thyroid follicle. These are the label. You can label the thyroid gland. And interfollicular cells or the C cells you can locate it within these follicles. So these cells are the interfollicular cells. So you can identify by the follicle filled with material. So in magnified view, you can see these follicular cells are the cuboidal, if columnar and squamous, depending on the activity of this thyroid gland. If it is inactive, this shape of the cells are flat to form a squamous. Medium active, there is a cuboidal shape, and highly active, there is a columnar shape of the cells of the follicular cells. So thyroid follicle contain the follicular cells, and within this lumen there is a collection of this hormone name is given this colloid. It is pinkish acidic stain, so it will take the pink in color HNO stain. In between this follicle there is a parafollicular cells. So this type of this appearance, you can see these cells located outside the follicle. Within in between these two follicle, name is given as parafollicular cells or C cells. So these are the structures of this thyroid gland. You can easily identify two type of the cells, follicular cells and parafollicular cells. Now photomicroscope, my micrograph, also you can see this cuboidal epithelium, colloid material, thyroid follicle and blood capillary. Within this follicle there is a parafollicular cells. So these are the location of this parafollicular and this follicular cells in thyroid gland. Now formation and secretion of this iodination of the thyroglobulin from the follicular cells. So how the synthesis of the hormone? So they synthesize the thyroid hormone is regulated by the iodine level and TSH binding to TSH receptor of the follicular cells. So here you can see this diagram, it is easily identify the iodine and the iodine receptor. The synthesis of the thyroglobulin glycoprotein is synthesized by the granular endoplasmic reticulum and is peaked into the secretory vascule in the Golgi complex. The vasculo travels to the luminal surface where they release thyroglobulin into the follicular cavity by the exocytosis. The uptake of the circulating iodine by the follicular cells by membrane receptor transport protein. The activation of the iodine is oxidized by the thyroid peroxidase in the transport into the follicle. Here the thyroglobulin combine with the iodine to form the colloid and the colloid is iodinized thyroglobulin. So these are the steps for the synthesis for the formation, secretion and iodinization of the thyroglobulin from the follicular cells. Some schematic diagram also you can see in these pictures. Synthesis of the thyroglobulin by the follicular cells and uptake of the circulating iodine by the follicular cells and oxidization of this iodine. Then thyroglobulin is transferred to follicle cavity by the exocytosis. Iodinization of the tyrosine residue of the glycoprotein. Colloid formation. Then formation of this monoiodinase and the dioiodinase by thyroid peroxidase. Take back into the follicular cells by the endocytosis. And formation of the T3 and T4 can stimulate by the TSH. And here there is a release of T3 and T4 into the blood. T3 and T4 release into the blood. So these are the steps: iodine, thyroglobulin, exocytosis, the lysosome. Then there is a lysosome fused with these colloid droplets. T3 and T4 are released and it liberate in the bloodstream. This one are the blood capillary lumens. It is lined by these endothelial cells and amino acid and the sugar are also absorbed by this thyroid follicle. So these one are the secretion iodinization of the thyroglobulin in follicular cells. Now histology of this parenchyma of this gland arranged in this form of the spherical mass called the thyroid follicle. It contains the gel-like material called the colloid. It takes acidophilic stain, cuboidal epithelium, squamous cells as resting or the inactive, and cuboidal in secretory or the active state. So here you can see this highly active stage of these follicular cells. It is like cuboidal height is tall in compared to the breadth. The simple cuboidal epithelium three-dimensional view. As seen in secretion view, this epithelium is present in thyroid gland, so highly active. In case of this panoramic microscopic structures, parafollicular cells you can identify within this follicle, follicle with cuboid, follicular cells, connective tissue septoid, contain the capillary. So these one are the slide of these cells. So follicular cells are cuboidal epithelium cells with their basal end resting on the basement membranes. These cells show the changes in shape depending on state of the gland. When gland is inactive, cells exhibit squamous structures and columnar when hyperactive. The follicular cells show central or the basal round nuclei with one or more eccentric nuclei. The apical tips of the cells extend microvilli in the cavity. Now parafollicular cells, they lie between the follicle, singly or in small group. Nucleus is round or the ovoid. Cytoplasm contains secretory granules. Pale or the light staining cells secrete the hormone. This hormone name is given this calcitonin. Second one are the parafollicular cells. In interfollicular space, there are the some species parafollicular cells they found in single or in group. The secrete hormone, they secrete the hormone thyrocalcitonin, which is lower the calcium level. So this one are the parafollicular cells secrete the thyrocalcitonin. Yeah, these are the parafollicular cells. Here you can see this one are the parafollicular cells. This one are the follicular cells and follicle with colloid. So these are the thyroid follicle. Now distinguishing features of the thyroid follicle is structural unit. Follicle contain the follicular epithelial cells and peripheral follicular cells. Follicle shows follicular cavity in which contain the gel-like colloid. The interfollicular space are filled by the reticular connective tissue and the blood vessels. So here, second slide are the parathyroid gland. You see this section, above there is a thyroid gland, below there is a parathyroid gland. Now parathyroid gland are located behind the thyroid gland on each end of the upper and lower pole within the capsule of the thyroid gland. You see this microscopic structures of this parathyroid gland is covered by the connective tissue capsule from which septa extend into the gland. Substance and the merge with the reticular fibers which support the secretory cells. So section along with this thyroid and parathyroid gland, here you can see two type of the cells, oxyphil cells and chief cells. So these one are the parietal principal cells of the chief cells are located in parathyroid gland. Now colloid, it is the part of this thyroid follicle is filled with semi-fluid or the gel-like substance called the thyroid colloid. It is endocrine secretion of the epithelial cells composed of this nucleoprotein, thyroglobulin and the proteolytic enzyme. Among the endocrine gland, thyroid is unique because it utilizes the inorganic element iodine for the synthesis of the hormone. Now applied histology related to the thyroid gland, there is some disorder due to this thyroid deficiency. Hypothyroidism, cretinism, myxedema and hyperthyroidism and the Graves' disease. These one are the applied histology related to the thyroid hormone. So you can learn more detail applied histology related to the thyroid hormone like the first one it is the hypothyroid. Hypo का मतलब क्या है? हाइपो मीन्स कम, थायराइड ग्लैंड कम हो गया है तो उसका नाम दिया हमने हाइपोथायरॉयडिज्म. अगर ज्यादा है तो उसका नाम दिया हमने हाइपो एंड हाइपर. तो हाइपर में क्या होता है? हाइपोथायरॉयड. हाइपरथायरॉयडिज्म में थायरोटॉक्सिकोसिस होता है. इज हाइपर मेटाबॉलिक क्लिनिकल इन द biochemical state caused by the excess production of the thyroid hormone. The condition is more frequent in female. यहाँ पे हाइपो है, ये वाला हाइपर है. तो हाइपर में ज्यादा हो जाएगा हार्मोन, हाइपो में कम हो जाएगा. तो हाइपरथायरॉयडिज्म में एक्सेस हो गया. हाइपरथायरॉयडिज्म में the excess the production of the thyroid hormone. Condition is more frequent in female. But in hypothyroidism, it is the hypometabolic clinical state resulting from the inadequate production of the thyroid gland. for the prolonged period or rarely from the resistance of the peripheral tissue to effect of the thyroid hormone. Depending upon the age or at onset of the disorder, we divide into the two forms, cretinism and myxedema. This one are the cretinism, second one myxedema and myxedema. So what is the cretinism? Cretinism is a congenital hypothyroidism. Is developed of the several hypothyroidism during the infancy and the childhood. The myxedema is adulthood hypothyroidism. मिक्सीडीमा किसको बोलेंगे? एडल्ट में ज़्यादा सिक्रेशन हो गया है, थायराइड का कम हुआ, सॉरी सिक्रेशन डेवलपमेंट ऑफ दिस इन एडल्टहुड हाइपोथायरॉयडिज्म. एंड ग्रेव डिजीज में क्या होता है? ऑल्सो नोन एज द बेसी डिजीज. प्राइमरी hyperplasia, exoplasmic goiter in the diffuse toxin goiter is characterized by triad of features. Triad में 3 फीचर्स उसमें है. ग्रेव्स डिजीज में hyperthyroidism, thyrotoxicosis, diffuse thyroid enlargement in the ophthalmopathy. The disease is more frequent between the age 30 and 40 years. It has a 5-fold increase the prevalence among the females. So this one are the Graves' disease. It is the applied histology related to the thyroid gland. The second one are the parathyroid gland. So already you see this आगे जो हमने देखा है तो उसका लोकेशन कहाँ पे है? It is located behind the thyroid gland on each end of this upper and lower pole and within the capsule of the thyroid gland. So microscopic structures of this parathyroid gland. So its gland is covered by the connective tissue capsule from which septa extend into the gland substance and merge with these reticular fibers which support the secretory cells. With increased age, secretory cells are replaced with the adipocyte and almost it constitutes more than 50% of this gland in old age. The endocrine cells are arranged in cord. Numerous sinusoid lie in cord relationship to the cells. Here there is a 2 type of the cells, chief cells and oxyphilling cells. First, chief cells. This one are the chief cell or the principal cells. Here you can see this one are the chief cells. So what is the chief cells and principal cells? These cells are more numerous than the oxyphilling cells. With the light microscope, the chief cells are seen to the small polygonal cells with vesicular nuclei and the light staining in the slightly eosinophilic acidophilic cytoplasm. Sometimes the cells accumulate glycoprotein and the lipid and the looks clear. 3 types of these chief cells, light, dark, clear, and have been seen in chief cells. So under the electron microscopic, the chief cells are seen to have evident granular endoplasmic reticulum, well-developed Golgi complex, small secretory granules seen especially in parts cytoplasm near the adjacent blood sinusoid. Chief cell produce the parathyroid hormone or the parahormone. In parathormone trying to increase the stream calcium level, increasing the bone resorption for the stimulation of the osteoclastic activity, calcium reabsorption from the renal tubules and the calcium absorption from the gut. So this one are the main function of this thyroid the chief cells. Now oxyphil cells जो है second, this one are the oxyphil cells. So oxyphil cells are located in the parathyroid gland. So oxyphil cells are the much larger than the chief cells and contain the granules that stain strongly with acid dye. Their nuclei are smaller and stain more intensely than those of the chief cells. They are less numerous than the chief cells. Oxyphil cells are absent in young and appear a little before the age of puberty. Under the electron microscope, you can see the granules of the oxyphil cells are really mitochondria, large number which are present in the cytoplasm. The true secretory granules are not present. The function of the oxyphil cells are unknown. So these are the 2 types of the cells, chief cells and parietal cells located in parathyroid. You see this oxyphil cells, it is darkly stained and large in number and less in number. So less in number and large size. Chip cells or the principal cells are the more in number but small in size. So chip cells, principal cells, polygonal, small in size, eosinophilic cytoplasm, it involved in synthesis of the protein and secretor parathyroid hormone PTH. It increase the blood calcium level. मेन उसका फंक्शन है blood calcium level को increase करना है. Oxygen cells है larger than the chip cells. उसके दो टाइप के उसका फंक्शन पता नहीं है पर उसका जो साइटोप्लाज्म है वो एसिडोफिलिक है. So this one are the thyroid and parathyroid gland is complete. Now last one, it is the suprarenal gland or the adrenal gland. So here you can see this suprarenal gland or adrenal gland located just above the upper pole of this kidney, both right and left kidney. So suprarenal gland are the pair organ and lie near the superior pole of this kidney in the abdomen. In many animals they do not occupy suprarenal position but lie near the kidney, therefore called the adrenal gland. कोई एनिमल में सुपर किडनी के ऊपर नहीं है पर नियर द किडनी, सो वो सेपरेट ऑर्गन की तरफ है तो उसका नाम दिया है हमने एड्रिनल ग्लैंड. So adrenal gland is made up of these two functional distinct parts. Yellow superficial part called the cortex and the medulla. Deep part called the medulla. The superficial part है उसको हम बोलेंगे cortex and deep part है उसको हम बोलेंगे medulla. When the section, so cortex derived from the mesoderm and medulla derived from the neural crest cells. So cortex it secretes the corticosteroid and androgen. The medulla secretes the epinephrine and norepinephrine. So cortex and medulla are the two distinctive features of the suprarenal gland. Cortex are the superficial part with reddish brown and deep part are the medulla. The volume of this cortex is about the 10 times that of the medulla. Cortex and medulla have distinct origin, function and the morphological characteristics that are the unite during the development. So microscopic features of this suprarenal. You can see this histology of the suprarenal gland. G, F, R, M. G, F, R. M means medulla. So three zone is collective cortex. Three zone are the zona glomerulosa, zona fasciculata, and zona reticularis and adrenal medulla. So these are the microscopic structures of this suprarenal gland. It covered by the connective tissue capsule from which septa extend into the gland. Substance stroma has the network of the reticular fibers that support the secretory cells. First cortex, adrenal cortex. GFR these are including in cortex. You can see this microscopic structures of this capsule, zona glomerulosa, zona fasciculata, sinusoid, and then reticularis. And this part are the medulla. So all above this portion are the cortex. So suprarenal cortex is made up of the cells arranging the cord sinusoid intervening between the cord. On the basis of the arrangement of the cells, cortex can be divided into the three layers: outermost zone glomerulosa, middle zone fasciculata, and inner zone are the reticulosa. First zona glomerulosa. So what is the zona glomerulosa? It is outermost layer of this constitute of the outer 1/5 of the cortex. Here the cells are arranged in closely packed inverted U-shaped cord, round like acini group and thus surrounded by the capillary. So with the light microscope, the cells of the zona glomerulosa are seen to a small polyhedral or the columnar with basophilic cytoplasm, deeply staining nuclei, produce the mineralocortico hormone and adenosterone and deoxycorticosteroid. So this hormone influences the electrolyte and the water balance of the body. The secretion of the androgen aldosterone is influenced by the renin secreted by the juxtaglomerular cells of the kidney. The secretion of the hormone by the zona glomerulosa appear to be largely independent of the hypophysis cerebri. Second zone are the zona fasciculata. You can see the shape of the cells are in line. So this one are the zona fasciculata. So this middle layer, from the middle 3/5 of the cortex, cells are arranged in straight column with two cells thick at a right angle to the surface. Sinusoid intervene between the column. With a light microscope, the cells of the zona fasciculata are seen to be large, polyhedral with basophilic cytoplasm and vesicular nuclei. The cells of the zona fasciculata are very rich in lipid. With routine staining method, the lipids are dissolved, giving the cells are empty. The vasculated appearance, because their vascularization, the cells are also called the spongiocyte. These cells also contain the considerable amount of the vitamin C. It produces the glycocorticoid cortisone and the cortisol dehydrocortisone. These hormones have the widespread effect, include those on the carbohydrate metabolism and the protein metabolism. They appear to decrease antibody resorption and have an anti-inflammatory effect. The zona fasciculata also produce small amount of this dehydroepiandrosterone DHA, which is an androgen. The third one are the zona reticularis. Here you can see this part are the zona reticularis. So inner 1/5 layer of this cortex is called the zona reticularis. It is called the reticularis because it made up of this cord that branch and anastomosic with each other to form a kind of this reticulum. The cells in this layer smaller and more acidophilic. With light microscope, the cells of zona reticularis are seen to similar to those of the zona fasciculata, but lipid content is less, so cytoplasm is thick eosinophilic. The cells often contain the brown lipofuscin pigment granules. In electron microscope, all layers of this cortex are characterized by the presence of this ambient smooth endoplasmic reticulus. Golgi complex is best developed in the cells of the zona fasciculata, and mitochondria are elongated in glomerulosa superficial in the fasciculus and the unstained with the tubular cisterna. So produce the some glucocorticoid in the sex hormone, both androgen and estrogen and the androgen. So this one are the main function of this parathyroid gland. So these are the microscopic structures. Under the low microscope, you can easily see this capsule, zona glomerulosa, fasciculata, and reticularis. Now medulla. You see this lower portion, this one are the medulla. The suprarenal medulla, both functionally and embryologically, the medulla of the suprarenal gland is distinct from the cortex. Function as a modified sympathetic ganglion with postaganglionic sympathetic cells without axon and dendrites. It has a chromophil cells and the sympathetic ganglion cells with a scattered throughout. They are the derived from the neural crest cells. Cells are the nothing but the modified post-ganglionic neurons that have the secretory function. So these are the suprarenal medulla. Here you can see the cells are the chromophil and chromophore type. So chromophil cells are the polymolar, polyhedral and have a basophilic cytoplasm arranged in cord or the clumps. The cell group of the or column are separated by the wide sinusoid. With electron microscope, cells of the adrenal medulla seen contain the abundant granular endoplasmic reticulum and prominent Golgi complex. Chromophore cells secrete the noradrenalines, norepinephrine, and the adrenalines, epinephrine into the blood. This secret that take place many time stress of the stress, fear, and the anger, and result in widespread effects similar to those of the stimulation of the sympathetic nervous system. Example, increase in heart rate and blood pressure. A secretion of the suprarenal medulla is controlled by the splanchnic nerve. So these one are the adrenal gland in low magnification. Photomicrograph magnified view. You can see this capsule, then zona glomerulosa. This one are the sinusoid. This one are the zona fasciculata. This one are the zona fasciculata, then sinusoid. This area are the zona reticularis and this part are the medulla. Now, in paranomic view, adrenal suprarenal gland under the HN stain, medium magnification, you can see this outer zone are the capsule. Through here, this portion are the medulla. Capsule is divided into this three zone. Sorry, cortex is divided into the three zone. Zona glomerulosa. This area are the zona glomerulosa. This part are the column-like जो cells है उसको हम बोलेंगे zona fasciculata. And this haphazard arrangement of the cells name is given the zona reticularis. So this part are the cortex and below there is a medulla. So here you can also see this medulla. It contains this central vein of this medulla, long cortical artery, and here there is a short cortical artery, capsule, supra, and this one are the GFR. This part are the cortex, and this one are the medulla. So you can see this under the 20x. There is under the dissected microscope. V means central vein. This one are the medulla. Lighter zone are the medulla. This one are the cortex. ये वाला रेटिकुलरिस पार्ट है, फेसिकुलर पार्ट है और ये ग्लोमेरुलस पार्ट है. ये वाला जो डार्कर है, this one are the capsule. So ये slide है adrenal gland. So you can easily identify by these groups, cortex and medulla. So main function, it controls the water electrolyte balance of the body. It regulates the carbohydrate, protein, amino acid and the fat metabolism. It also responsible to stress and immune response. Prepare the body to combat emotional stress. So this one are the function of this adrenal gland. Now pineal gland. So pineal gland, general features of the pineal gland, it is small piriform structures present in relation to the posterior wall of this third ventricle of the brain. It also called the epiphysis cerebri. The secretion of the gland are the influenced by the light and dark period of the day and it most active during the night. So microscopic structures of the pineal gland, epiphysis cerebri is small endocrine gland, arise outgrowth from the roof of the third ventricle of the brain is covered by the pia mater. Two cells, pineocyte, secrete the melanin and the interstitial cells. Function of this gland are still unclear in human, but it play an important role to adjust the sudden change in the light in person suffering for the jet lag. So gland is covered by the pia mater forming the capsule from the septa extending into the gland and divide it into the incomplete lobules. Section of the pineal gland stained with the HN stain. Mass of the cells among which there are the blood capillary and the nerve fibers. So main features of the pineal gland in section, presence of the irregular mass made up of the mainly of the calcium salt. The mass constitute the corpora arenasa or the brain sand. The gland composed of the pineocyte and the interstitial cells. So what is the pineocyte? These cells are the polyhedral body containing a spherical, oval and irregular nuclei. The cell's body gives off long process which expand terminal band and end in relation to the wall of this capillary. So this cell's name is given this pineocyte. Second one are the interstitial cells. The pineocyte are separated from the one another by the neuroglia cells that resemble the astrocyte in structures. They lie in proximal to the blood vessels and pineocyte cells are dark, staining elongate nucleus with well-developed rough endoplasmic reticulum. So these cells are the interstitial cells. Now some endocrine tissue. Example, isolate of this Langerhans present within this pancreas. Pancreas are endocrine and exocrine both part. Exocrine part where there is a duct system is present and endocrine part are the isolate of Langerhans. You see this pancreatic isolate, it is stained, lighter stain in higher magnification. Within there is present the blood capillary. So hormone is secreted directly pour into the blood. So these are the endocrine tissue. So it is special tissue you can see in pancreas. This one are the isolate of this Langerhans and these are pancreatic acini or the exocrine gland.